Yo, what's going on, gamers? Your boy, mav-rik here, back with another daily dose. Dang, the beat was supposed to drop. I clicked that wrong. Another daily dose. Why don't I hear? Oh, there's the beat. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if... Oh, there was a little gap in how... Oh. Well, that sucked. Alright, well, we gotta do that intro all over again, y'all. Because that wasn't smooth. And I'm not gonna edit this out. Yo, what's going on, y'all? Your boy, mav-rik here, back with another daily dose. I still don't even like the part I picked for that beat to drop. But anyway, man, what's going on, y'all? We back. Hope y'all are as excited as I am. Again, I love this series. I love y'all. I love the feedback, the support, the everything that was you guys in the last episode, which is, you guys have been like that through the whole series, and it's awesome. So thank you. Got a buttload of questions for y'all to be answered. The email is jam-packed. Again, I'm still sitting on over 450 unread emails. So that means that filters out all of the ones that I've answered and the ones I've gone through that aren't questions, just either testimonials or shout outs. So yeah. Alright, so let's just dive right into it, man. I had a starting point. Here we go. Alright, my man Jacob said, I got 150k. He's talking about coins and MUT. What should I do? Sets or upgrade the team? If so, where? Now, I'm going to answer this just to let you guys know moving forward. I most likely will be ignoring all MUT questions. As far as stuff like this, I might address video. I don't want to say that this isn't about video games and I won't answer video game questions or my opinions on things, but this really isn't a good series to give MUT advice, especially something like this. I don't know what issues your team might have, your team needs. This beat has too many tags. Hopefully it's not too annoying for y'all. It shouldn't. I'm gonna just make sure it's down low. This beat's got a lot of tags, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know the best way for you to spend 150 coins might be different than the best way, or 150,000 might be different than what's best for me and my team. So I don't know if a set would be best for you or if just going straight to your team would be. That's impossible for me to answer without looking at your actual roster. And I get that question a lot on Twitter. One, like I said, I can't answer without knowing your team, and I'll say that, and then people will send me screenshots of their whole team. I can't get into the consulting business. I can't consult people for their MUT team for free. If there's a market for that and y'all want to start paying me to look at your team and really give you advice that you could do on your own, I'll open that business. Y'all already know. I'll hop into that niche. But especially on Twitter, guys, that's a horrible conversation to have on Twitter. Just being very upfront with y'all, it's like annoying to be like, I gotta go through their pictures and look at the roster and say, oh, you should do this 140 characters at a time. So that's why most of that stuff just gets ignored. So that's that. Wasn't trying to grill you, Jacob, for your question, but it was just something that allowed me to explain that to anyone that might have tried to approach me like that on Twitter. So yeah. That's impossible for me to answer, Jacob. But I would still say good question because I was able to get that off my chest. Moving on to my man Matthew. He said, if you had a boy kid, a boy kid. That's funny because I call my daughters girl babies. If you had a boy kid, would you let him play football? Heck yeah, I would. Love football. Love sports in general. Of course, you know, I'm not going to make him play anything, but to start, I'm going to try and put him in everything that I can. I want to get him into all the different sports. I want to get him into boxing, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff. Speaking of jiu-jitsu, my girl kid, my 3-year-old, just started jiu-jitsu. Follow me on Instagram. You'll see it. And if you have any questions you want for the show, man, reach imav@gmail.com. If you don't want your name used in the email, don't want me to read your name, make sure you put that at the top of the email. But I posted pictures of my daughter's first jiu-jitsu class. She was doing good, man. I gotta show y'all videos. And I should have, today's Sunday, I should have showed, I do have videos of that. So maybe later this week I'll show you guys videos of her second and third class. But she was doing really good. I'm proud of her. And yeah, I think sports are huge. I did everything growing up. I did t-ball when I was 5. Then I went into soccer. Then I think basketball. Then I was finally old enough to do football. I did a little bit of everything, and that did a lot. Did a lot for my confidence, self-esteem, helped me, make a lot of friends. So he's definitely going to play a lot of sports, and football will be one of them that I put him in initially. And his second question is ice cream or cake? Come on, son. Hands down, cake. That's not even a legit question. If there's anyone that disagrees, let me know in the comment section. But my thing is, like, cake is universal. Cake is any time of the year, but just sometimes you don't feel like ice cream. Like, if you're already cold, you don't want no ice cream, but you can get some cake, though, depending on what kind of cake it is, too. So I guess that's a stipulation we got to add. But, yeah, cake over ice cream. And then he says, thank you for the amazing content and keep it up. Or keep it rolling. G1GB. Appreciate you, Matt. Good questions. The next one we have is from my man Nicholas. He said, how many times a week do you and your wife go to church? Right now we go, I'm going to answer this a certain way. We go to church services twice a week. Actually, at our church's location, like on the premises of church. 2 at the minimum, right, for the services. 4 at the maximum. Actually, I'll say 5 at the maximum. But 5 is rare. We used to be at the church 5, at least I used to be at the church 5 days out of the week consistently for a good few months. But now we volunteer in our church's youth ministry. So for our church's high school and college ministry, we volunteer. And that ministry, which is called Unashamed, we have services on Wednesday. And so we're at church for those services. And then I guess our main campus, our just normal church, right? We have services on Sunday, and we go for that. Actually just got back from church. Shout out to Jesus. Now, Mondays, we will go to church for practice, because on Wednesdays, sometimes we do dramas, like different plays or skits or any type of creative illustrations, and we'll practice that stuff on Monday. So we'll be at church for that sometimes. Depending on what we got going on, sometimes my wife and kids will just go, and I'll have to stay home and work. But that's why it's like, if I say I'm gonna stream on Monday, but I don't know for sure, that's what it's always dependent off of, whether there's a practice or not. And then we used to go Tuesdays. We stopped, though. Now, we used to go Tuesdays. Crap, I didn't start my stopwatch. It's cool. We used to go Tuesdays because, so there's a service on Wednesday, right, for the Unashamed, but there's also our main campus, like the main church for the adults. They have a service on Wednesday too. But for those that can't make it on Wednesday, they also have it on Tuesday. So since we missed the service on Wednesday because we're at the Unashamed, volunteering with the youth, we used to go on Tuesday as well. I had to fall back though, because believe it or not, this is about to start me on a rant, so I'm gonna try and catch myself. But you can actually be not too Christian, but you can be too consumed. You can definitely be too consumed with church and other things. And actually, and that was for me, because I'm someone that's really, I'm either like hot or cold. I usually just don't care about something, or I'm all in. And a couple years ago, when I really got on fire, I was trying to be at church every day, every single day. And so we would go Monday. We'd have the practices on Monday. Tuesday, we'd go for the adults. Wednesday, we'd be there for the youth. On Thursdays, we still do this. We stopped recently because we had babysitting complications, but we're starting to figure it out. So on Thursdays, we'll go to like creative meetings, which is where we work on the stuff that we're going to be doing the next Wednesday at service. And so we're at Thursdays, we're at creative meeting. Or on Thursday, I also had a discipleship class that I would go to. And then Friday and Saturday, there would be no church, and I would be pissed off about it. But I kind of had to realize I was overextending myself, literally overextending myself at church, and I was I wasn't able to work as efficiently, and I didn't realize, and so I had to fall back so I can make sure I was handling my responsibilities as a man, as a husband, as a father, to take care of my family and not be skipping out on my work to be at church every day. And so that might actually be good for some people to hear, because some people think when you get into volunteering at church, they get so on fire that they just drop everything around them, and that's not even what God wants. God doesn't want you to read your Bible 24/7 and you get fired from your job because you're like, you know what, I'm calling into work today because I'm about to read this Bible. God's like, what? You better take your butt to work, right? Because that's actually biblical. Hard work, providing for your family. So me handling my responsibility as a father, as a man, as a husband, that is actually biblical, and that's me falling in line with the word and actually falling back and not overextending myself at church and having that family spiritual, balance. Still God is still first, but again, just still making sure I'm handling my business. So that's why now we go, on average, I'd say 3 we're at church. 4 if you count the times we're able to make it to creative meeting on Thursdays. So that was a long answer. Could have been a short answer, but I wanted to explain that overextending and stuff. So good question. Who asked that? Good question, Nicholas. My man Riley. Okay, it's okay to use your name. He said, do you do fantasy football? If so, what is your team? I do not. I don't think I have the time to do fantasy football. I get a lot of offers, but I just feel like if I get into that, I really want to be able to do it, know my players, watch the games. And I barely have time to watch the Eagles play because I'm just so focused on what I'm trying to accomplish this point in my life. And so, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful to anyone else, but for what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go, I can't waste the time. I feel like for me, and I'm not saying this for everybody, that watching football is a waste of time. But for where I'm at right now and what I'm trying to do, I can't waste. I feel like it would be a waste of my time to be too involved in just the NFL in general and running a fantasy team. And I know I've had people that trying to get me into leagues. They're like, well, yeah, there's apps that tell you what to do, and you can watch these shows to make it easy. But me, I want to really sit down, get my GM on, and make sure I'm using the right players, make the moves on my own. But I vaguely even understand how fantasy football works. That's how little I've committed to it and even trying to understand it. Because it sounds like something if I get into, I'll get addicted. I'll get addicted to, and I won't be managing my time correctly. So nah, man, I don't have a fantasy team. Next question. Brandon asks, how long have you and wifey been together? Also, where did you first meet? I feel like I've answered both of these, but it's in a previous episode. I don't know which one, but I can just tell you right now off the top. It's really quick to answer. How long have we been together? We became boyfriend and girlfriend 2009, July 27th. We got married, I won't mess it up this time, October 20th, 2010. We met in a digital communications class in high school. I was a junior. She was a senior. Pimpin'. She's 9 months older than me, too. Next question. Nick Waits. How do you control your temper when bad things happen to you while playing Madden? You think that I control my temper? That's cool that you think I control my temper, and I feel like you kind of gotta be just saying that. How have I think I've definitely calmed down over the years when it comes to playing Madden, and I don't think that's because I've learned to control my temper. I just think I've grown, or I've matured. Let's say I've matured a lot, and Madden's kind of fallen into its proper placing for me. Yo, someone commented last video. I think it legit was like an empty bottle too, where I was so slick. I was like, boom, and I like moved it just in the frame right there. And he was like, I see you trying to get that sponsorship, man. I promise you, I didn't even do that on purpose. They actually said no to us for the sponsorship for now, but we're going to work on it next year. But I still just got a bunch on deck because it's still my favorite drink. But, yeah, I think Madden's just kind of fallen into its proper place for me. Like, right, I don't care about it that much to get as mad. But I will say this, like, I still rage, but my raging isn't as amplified and as vulgar as before and as confrontational as it was before, because that's not the kind of person I am. My rage doesn't seem as bad and as wild, because I'm not as wild as a person as I used to be. I've calmed down a lot. But more so, what I think happened for me with Madden a lot is stuff that you guys didn't even really get to see. I think it's easy to understand from watching my old videos, but you guys really didn't get to see it. Is how I felt before games and after games. So before going into a game, especially if it was a big game, right? I think I would feel like a legit amount of nerves. Like, I was almost really nervous, like scared, like, oh, I don't want to lose this, you know what I mean? Like, but then even after I would lose, I would be angry, really angry, to the point where I remember specifically a time where my little cousin had a birthday party at Peter Piper, and I lost. I tried to get a game in just before we went, and I lost, and I pouted my entire little cousin's birthday party. Like, I wasn't trying to talk to no one. I was just the whole time just pissed off because I lost in a game of Madden, man. My little cousin was turning like 10 or something, 11, and looking back, it's just like, wow, you were so immature, man, that you cared that much. There was times where I would go to bed angry with my wife. I wouldn't be angry like at her, but I'm saying I would get into bed angry, right? Because I lost a game of Madden just before bed, and she would know. She'd be like, dang, this Negro lost in Madden. And she would actually hate it when I would play Madden before bed, because I would take it so bad. And I would lose, and I would talk. I'd be that guy that would write you a message after I lost. And I'd be like, yeah, you still a bum? No, you ain't gonna run it back, you little hoe. But obviously I'm cursing in it and stuff. And so I would literally argue with people. And if I found someone that was just as immature as me, we would argue back hours. I think I was at my little cousin's birthday party just waiting to get home and respond to one of the messages I had sent to people. And I usually had like 10 arguments going at once because I would lose so much. And so I just be waiting like, ooh, I wonder what this guy said. I wonder what this guy said. Oh, I can't wait to rematch him. And it was just like, really, bruh? Drop the beat on that. Really, bruh? Oh, this was helping me keep track of my time. I shouldn't have done that. But you know what I mean? It's like, really, bruh? And then, there's actually a really good quote that I like. And I don't mean this, hopefully no one gets sensitive over this, but I think it's a really good quote that affected me when I was struggling with stuff like this and I was getting mad over stuff like this. And the quote is, you can, and I'm paraphrasing here because I can't remember it exactly, but it's like, you can tell the size of a man by the size of the issue that makes him mad. I'm paraphrasing. I'm sure it sounds so much more elegant when it's said in its proper, word for word. But so basically what that's saying is, you can tell how mature and what someone's really about by the size of things that gets them mad. So now the stuff that angers me and gets me fired up is usually stuff that has eternal consequences, something that's really affecting people and people's health, people's well-being. It really frustrates me, some of the stuff that Satan does to hold people in bondage. Like, that stuff angers me. I don't get mad over Madden like that no more. I just don't. But it's like, and that's the type of stuff that consumes me, right? My children, my family, that consumes me. The fact that Madden used to consume me like that just showed you where I was at with my maturity. And of course, if you're a youngster, this isn't, of course, video games are your life. And they probably shouldn't be, but it's understandable, right? But as someone that was moving into adulthood or was an adult, it's like, really, bruh? That consumes you that much? Like, you ain't got nothing bigger going on in your life? And then sometimes I look at that when, even you guys will be in the comment section. You could tell when someone's having healthy debate or conversation back and forth, but when they really care about the argument in the comment section, it's like, dang, you're that mad at this person in the comment section? So you ain't got nothing bigger or better going on in your life but to be angry about these comments that this person's putting. Okay. Okay. And I'm not saying that to necessarily speak down to anyone else, because that used to be me. That's the stuff I had to internalize when I was I would say I was very immature. And so now Madden, I'm not scared to play no one because I don't care if I lose. But I do so much care about Madden. I really care about Madden, but it's not for the reason of winning or losing or being the best. It's because I love y'all and I love the reach that I have with Madden. So that's the extent of that. So and that expands to you know, I said, like, whether I'm playing it, whether I win or I lose. People will challenge me sometimes, like subs will challenge me and be like, Mav, I'll call you out right now. Play me, you bum. And then I'll ignore it. And they'll be like, oh, I thought you were the greatest. I thought you were dope, huh? You scared? You scared that I'm gonna beat you? And then I want you to put it on YouTube and you'll be exposed. You're not as great as people think you are. And I look at it and I'm like, well, first off, I start all my videos talking about how good I'm not. And two, that, like, old me, you probably would have fired something up within me. But now, I'm not worried about losing. And here's the beauty of what I do. I can reach people. I can entertain people. I can have quality. Some of my better videos are videos where I lost. So I don't have any attachment to winning or losing once the game's over. Like, the competitiveness in me, I want to win. As soon as the game's on, boom, I'm going to do everything I can to win. But when it's off, I'm good. I just got so much going on outside of it. So same with commentators, right? People will be like, oh, you should play this YouTuber. You should play this YouTuber. And y'all don't even realize some of us have already played. And some of us got good relationships, like me and my man GS and anyone that's in my Madden Mastermind type family. We've played plenty of times. We're just strategic when we post it, because you got to make people wait, man. It makes those matches interesting. But let's just say, insert the blank with any YouTuber. It's like, oh, you should play this person. Or I'll see in the comments like, oh, this person would spank Mav. He's better than Mav. Or Mav's better than this guy. That's not something that I don't even entertain that in my soul, because I don't care about that. What I do care about is making sure I'm bringing the best videos I can and reaching as many people. Winning or losing, first of all, I don't believe I have to win or lose to do that. So I don't have that fear of, dang, what if I lose and people don't think I'm good at the game? Like, I can honestly say I don't have that issue no more. So yeah, I don't rage. I don't rage as much because I think the game's, like I said, it's falling into its proper place. And I rambled a lot on that question, but hopefully y'all learned a lot about me there. My bad. Alright. Good question, Nick. Cameron. Yes, Cameron. Hold on, is this a question? You didn't have a question mark in there. Yes. Hey, I'm Mav. I always watch your videos and I hear you mention church and such. But I have a question for you. What type of Christian are you? Like Baptist, Protestant, etc. Thanks in advance and keep up the hard work. Eventually you will get to 100,000 subs. Just keep at it. Your loyal fan, Cam S, aka Frenchie, aka let me dabble up in these iMav videos. Cameron, appreciate you. Just to be really quick, I don't consider myself any type of Christian. I don't like that. I don't like that sometimes I feel like as Christians we find more reasons to divide than come together. So like the church I go to is non-denominational. The people that love to put tags on Christians, I think they would say I'm an evangelical Christian. But I just love Jesus. I believe the Bible, every word of it, and I do my best to glorify God and further his kingdom. That's it. And that makes me a Christian, but what type of Christian? Personally, I don't like to get into that. Good question, though. My man Luke. Dude, honestly, you are the reason I wake up in the morning every day. Okay, this isn't even a question, but I want to address that. Dude, honestly, you are the reason I wake up in the morning every day. You are hilarious and you make me laugh so much. You are the reason I got back into playing sports games, and that's when I realized those are the best games. Keep it up. Then your intro will be wrong. You won't just be alright. You will be the best. Well, let me say I appreciate that, Luke. And I'm assuming, and just off of some of the spelling, I'm assuming you're a youngster. And that, first off, let me say I'm very grateful and I appreciate those kind words. But I'm going to tell you why stuff like that, some of that stuff bothers me. I don't ever want to be the reason any of you guys wake up. And I know if I were to say this to your face, or even just say this to you online, you'd be like, well, yeah, I didn't mean it necessarily like that. And I agree. I get a lot of like overhyped testimonials and overhyped I love yous, right? So I know you probably don't mean that as it was written, that you literally wake up because of me. But I do feel that there's a lot of people that have me on a pedestal that I shouldn't be on. And that's why I like to start my intros with, I'm not the best, I'm alright, all glory to God. If you guys notice, I've changed that lately. I don't want to become, well, to be honest, I don't want to be anyone's necessarily hero or role model, but I know that's not realistic, and so I know I'll have eyes on me, and that's why I do my best to be the best that I can and do things like improve my language. But I also, especially for you youngsters, I want to nail home for you guys. You want to be really close. You want to be really careful about worshiping. You don't want to worship the creation. You want to worship the creator. So what I'm saying is, only one that should be on the pedestal is Jesus and God. Not anyone else. Not the creation. It should be the creator, right? God. Not the creation as in any man. So me, your favorite athlete, your favorite actor, some bad female, right? You don't worship those people, because at the end of the day, we're no one special and we're never going to be perfect. And there's another quote that I love, that you're only going to be as strong as what you put your faith in, right? So if you put your faith in me, you're always going to be let down because I'm not perfect, right? So for example, maybe and let's say you put your happiness in me, right? What if I die and I can't post videos no more? What just happens to your happiness? It's gone, right? But even if it's just whether I post a video or not and I don't die and I stop YouTube, or let's just say I get sick and I can't post videos for a week, you're going to be sad and depressed for a week, right? So you want to be really careful of that. And obviously I have no plans on it, but people go crazy all the time, and it's really sad, especially when you have someone living for Christ and then they just kind of fold and they lose it, right? You've seen it with some preachers, other spiritual leaders, and I don't want to say I plan on that, and I hope I never do, but I can't put that past me and have you guys just believing in me like I'm Jesus and I'm perfect, right? What if I just go off and I go crazy and I just turn into a bad person, right? You guys can't follow me, and you can't put everything in me. Like, I'm not perfect, and I all I can do is do my best to be perfect, but I'll always let you guys down, always, because I'll never be able to be perfect, right? Man, you might be like, man, I love Mav. He's so inspirational. He used to curse. He works so hard, and he doesn't curse no more. He's all clean. And then you meet me in person, and I'm walking, and I step on a nail, and I slip, and I'm like, man, you know what I mean? Not that I haven't done that, and I've had some really painful, like, toe stubs, and I haven't slipped, but I'm just trying to paint these pictures, right? It's like I slipped, and then it's like, Mav cursed, he's not perfect, and that's just the one thing I'm always careful with, is I don't want people putting all their faith in me. I do my best is to, as people bring in and follow me, I try to point them to Jesus, because that's going to be the most, and see, so, and let's contrast that, right? Instead of putting your faith in something that's not perfect, like me or money, what if you put your faith in your job, right? What happens when you lose that job? You put your faith in the government. What happens when things go crazy, or the president? You put your faith in your parents, your wife, whatever, your happiness. What if you put it into those things and something happens to them, right? Well, there goes your happiness. There goes your faith. There goes your strength. But if you put your faith in God, who is perfect, who can't let you down, who never changes his mind, who's the same yesterday, tomorrow. You can't be let down. He can't go nowhere. He can't change. And that's where that needs to be the reason you wake up, right? Not me or my videos. And so I want to do that. And I don't say that, oh, I'm not perfect, to act like I'm just a horrible person, or, you know, that I do these bad things, right, when the camera isn't on. That's not the case. But just like me and just like you, right, and just like anyone else, these big mega preachers, no one is perfect. And I don't want you guys to get into worshiping your favorite football player, your favorite actor, this bad female that you like on TV. You need to put all your faith and strength in God. So it always bothers me when I can tell that people look at me as if I'm a god, right? And as if the things that I'm telling you guys right now, I've showed you guys all the books that I read, the Bibles I read, the sermons, all the money I spent on education. I'm not saying anything new. This isn't nothing that I created in my head. All these answers I'm spewing out to you guys are things that I just took the time to learn, right? I spent my time reading, studying, and all these different things. So don't think I'm just some magical gift to earth that all these words, aside from most of the metaphors that I use, because I think I'm really good at using metaphors, all this stuff I'm just regurgitating out to you guys from all these different books and Bible scriptures that I've read, all right? So just remember that. God's using me, obviously, and this is something I'm not saying to be cocky. It's just you can look at the numbers and the testimonials and see that God's using me to reach people and inspire people. And then so yeah, there's an aspect of me in it, but it's all God. I'm being used, man. I'm being used by God. So all glory goes to Him, not me. I'm not that dope. You take away the Jesus out of me, you gotta really. That's why I'm at church so much. Let's just say that I need me some Jesus. So yeah, a little bit of a rant then. We've had a couple rants this video, so video's getting long, but actually I have no idea where the time's at right now because I messed it up. So let's start wrapping this up. But I do appreciate your support, Luke. John asks, are you going to play Sonic Boom for Wii U? I don't know. I've been asked that quite a few times. I don't even know what Sonic Boom is. I gotta look it up. I heard it's a new Sonic game, but I don't know. If it's dope, heck yeah. Can I get a couple more short ones in? Oh, that was a good one. Jeremy just asked a good one. We might have to save his. Yeah, I think we got some good questions. We'll wait for next time. Oh man, you guys hit with some really good ones coming up. So yeah, next episode might be pretty good. Luis asked, when did you and wifey get married? How was life growing up? Ooh, how was life growing up? Just to give you a yeah, we got some good questions going up, and a lot of these aren't short answers, so we'll cut this one short here. Question of the day. Let's say, question of the day is going to be, you guys know how I start my intro. What's going on, gamers? I want to know, are you really a gamer? So I want to know, what is your favorite game and how often do you play? Let's flip that. How often do you play games? And if you play games at all, what is your favorite game? Because I got a feeling, well, actually I know this on my Let's Play channel, maybe not on this channel, but I know that I have people that don't even play games. They just like watching people play games, and they like watching me play games. So let me know, how often do you play games, and what is your favorite games? That's it, y'all. Appreciate all the questions, appreciate all the support. Y'all are awesome. I will have a pack opening going up for y'all a little bit later today. And yeah, follow your boy, Twitter, Instagram. Reach imav@gmail.com. You want your question answered. Like I said, over 450 unread emails. I'm going through them as fast as I can. And hopefully next week I actually start integrating some of the actual footage from my day-to-day so you guys can see that. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are dope. Y'all be easy. Till the next time. God first. God bless.